Hello, and welcome to episode 17 of Strive, where we talk about security, technology, resilience, and everything IT, all in a virtual environment. And I'm Darren Thomson, your host. Now, those of you that have been watching this podcast since the very beginning may remember that way back in episode 4, we focused on the topics of AI and machine learning, and specifically the difference between those two. Well, recently I've had several regular viewers asked for an episode on a similar topic, and a topic that seems to have been hitting the headlines recently quite a bit, and that is Agentic AI. So, Agentic AI, what is it? Is it just another buzzword in our industry, or is it something we really need to understand as technology leaders, security professionals, and IT strategists? Before we start today, though, my usual disclaimer. The information shared in this podcast is for general informational purposes only. It does not constitute legal or professional advice, and it may be subject to change. Now, let's dive into Agentic AI. To begin with, let's keep it really simple. Agentic AI refers to artificial intelligence that can operate with a level of autonomy, essentially a digital agent with goals. The word agentic, by the way, comes from psychology. It describes people who act intentionally, make decisions, and pursue objectives. So here we're talking about an AI that does exactly those things. When we talk about agentic AI, we're talking about AI systems that don't just respond to prompts, but get set sub-goals, plan steps, and achieve them, adapting based on what they learn, sometimes with very little or no human supervision. This is a step beyond, of course, something like ChatGPT or Copilot. Those are reactive AIs. They wait for your input. Agentic systems are entirely proactive. So, what does this look like in practice? Well, imagine, for example, a personal assistant AI that doesn't just book a flight when you ask, but watches your calendar, notices a clash between your travel plans and client meetings, checks the weather forecast, rearranges your itinerary, and even books a hotel room before you've even had a chance to think about that. That would be Agentic AI. Or take a cybersecurity example. An Agentic AI might detect lateral movement in your network, attempt to isolate the affected system, generate a report for the CISO, and patch a vulnerability, all before your SOC team has even logged in the morning. This kind of agency or autonomy is very powerful, but as you might imagine, it comes with its own challenges too. On the one hand, Agentic AI could be a game changer for cyber defense. We're talking about AI that can hunt threats, take defensive actions, and even initiate recovery automatically. That's a huge advantage potentially where milliseconds really count. But here's the catch. The more autonomy we give these systems, the more we need to trust them. And that raises some pretty huge questions. For example, how do we ensure that the AI's goals align with our own? What if it takes action that we didn't authorize or understand? And how do we audit or unwind decisions made because something happened that we weren't expecting? Unintended consequences. And of course, bad actors have agentic AI systems too. Imagine a malware attack that adjusts based on the defenses it encounters, or a phishing AI that changes its social engineering tactics in real time. That's not science fiction, that's happening right now, today. So what does this mean for you, the IT professional? If you're a business or technology leader, it's time to start asking questions about AI intent and autonomy. Whether you're buying a product with AI baked in or you're building your own capabilities, the stakes are higher when systems start to think and act independently. Make sure your teams are thinking about governance. They're able to explain what they're doing, and they're never fully out of control. And if you're in security, start preparing for a world where both defenders and attackers are deploying agents. They're not just executing scripts. Agentic AI is a powerful concept. It's not about machines becoming sentient or taking over. It's about AI systems becoming more goal-driven and self-directed. If we harness that responsibility, it could be one of the most valuable tools in the resilience playbook, for example. But if we ignore the risks, it could be one of our biggest vulnerabilities. Thank you for joining me on this short episode of Strive. That's all we have time for today. If you enjoyed this episode, maybe go and have a look at some of the previous episodes, which at this point cover a pretty wide array of topics. And by all means, tell your friends. Otherwise, stay tuned for more stories and insights. And until next time, stay informed, stay secure, and I'll see you in the next one.